We've
Almost about ready, Barbara. I'm just renaming the folks so those watching can see who's whom.
Okay.
This is Pat.
But I can call the meeting to order.
Yeah, yes. Hang on, let me get Guiyu in here. He's my last person coming in, it looks like. And then yes, you should be able to call it to order.
Now?
Is Guiyu here connecting? Actually, we're missing Mike and Jim Sheehan, but I imagine as they drop in, I'll admit them. Are you comfortable with that?
I'm fine. Except that the president first one up after. Okay. I call the quarterly business meeting for the Edinboro University Council of Trustees to order. Okay. The announcement that the quarterly business meeting for the Edinboro University Council of Trustees to order. Okay. The announcement that the quarterly business meeting for the Edinboro University Council of Trustees to order. Okay. The announcement that the quarterly business meeting. Okay. Whoa. I don't know what's going on.
There was a feedback loop. I had to find who actually was causing the feedback. It was Rob Frank's mic, so I muted him. We should be okay now.
Okay. The proceedings of the Edinboro University Council of Trustees are recorded. Therefore, public disclosure to those in attendance via verbal announcement and written public notice avoids any violation of the Pennsylvania Wiretapping Act. The Edinboro University Council of Trustees went into executive session to discuss personnel and legal matters at 11:30 a.m. May 1st, 2020. Just checking, Sam, we had no one respond that they wanted to make comment, correct?
No, we did not have any response from the public of anybody wanting to make comment.
Okay.
However, we are live streaming as we go right now.
Right. So.
Okay. Give me just a moment here and I will call roll for the trustees. Trustee Bellini.
Here.
Trustee Chair Chafee.
Here.
Trustee Frampton.
Here.
Trustee Hyam.
Here.
Trustee Hersey.
Here.
Trustee Kennedy.
Here.
Trustee Lothar.
Here.
Trustee Pape.
Here.
Trustee Perillo is absent. Trustee Shields.
Here.
And Trustee Wachter.
Here.
Chair Chafee, we have a quorum.
Okay. So first act of new business is for a motion to approve the minutes of the quarterly business meeting held on February 7th, 2020. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, Kathy Pape moved. Mark Bellini seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay. No opposed. It's passed.
Passed by.
Motions are approved.
Yep.
Dr. Huang, you are going to present the president's report to the Council of Trustees, please.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you, everybody. Can you hear me? All right. I hope you do. Yeah, I've had some issues here on my iPad here. Not a computer. It's great to see many of you, so many of you, colleagues, trustees. It's a great time to have a meeting. This is the last day of the semester. Otherwise, we would be having our commencement tomorrow, but we postponed that to a time in the fall. Let me begin by thanking a few people before I give you a report. Let me thank Sam Comfort first. Sam has been in my office since I arrived, did a lot of good work working with me with the office. He has room, he wants some room to grow. We have a graduate school that needs help. So effective tomorrow, officially, work on Monday, Sam will move over to the graduate school to work with the Dean Lake and that school. The graduate division has grown over the years. We want them to be even bigger in both recruitment, enrollment, and retention. I think Sam has a lot of good experience in that area, and he'll work with the Dean Lake and Provost Hannon on those issues effective next Monday. I want to thank him publicly and wish him the best. Hopefully we'll see him again. Right, Sam?
You will definitely still see me, but I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Exactly. I've enjoyed working with Sam. I also want to thank all the trustees during a very difficult time. Some of you write me once in a while to encourage us to move on. I appreciate those comments from many of you. More than ever, this is how we need your support, your encouragement, your guidance. And thank you, Barbara. Thank you, everybody, for your help in this process. The ELT group has been very good over the last couple of months. Communication from Andre's area, working with the faculty, the provost Mike, Provost Hannon, Associate Provost Jim Fisher. They work with the faculty very effectively in transitioning the university from in-person modality to online, basically seamlessly, right? I did hear from a number of faculty complimenting the university for the good work. And also ERT, the emergency response team, especially Jim Sheehan and Jim Dale, Jim and Jim, I like to call them, and the entire committee. The faculty have been very adaptive, and they are working hard now. Their students are graduating tomorrow. Our faculty and staff, many of them made sacrifices. I want to recognize their sacrifices in this difficult time. Okay. So I will be as quick as I can, because I do have quite a few items, but I don't want to monopolize the entire hour. A quick update on strategic plan. The strategic plan was launched on July 1, the day of my arrival. Being implemented over the last 10 months, directly working with 7 teams on different aspects of the plan. Jim Fisher, Mike Hannon, and many others are working on those teams. So far, there has been a lot of progress. Let me give you just 1 or 2 so you know what is going on. 3 major committees: academic master plan committee, the team, retention and student engagement team, and technology, communications, access, and process team. These 3 teams are finalizing their own plan for presentation in the near future. So a lot of good work. I want to thank Mike and JD in particular. Now, there was a 7th team that I wanted to see established, which did stand up, led by Jim Sheehan. That team is working on financial matters, revenue generation, cost-saving measures, and they are giving a lot of input on the financial sustainability plan that we are working on at this moment. So again, I'm not going to into a lot of details. I can give you more in the July meeting in a couple of months. The commencement, we decided to postpone it to September. I'm sorry, September or October. We still need to identify a date yet. My thought is by summer, by June or July, we should have a lot more clarity on the situation with the COVID-19. I have asked the ERT team, the emergency response team, that includes representatives from faculty, staff, the counseling services, the global office, and also the entire complement of the cabinet, to use the month of May to study all the issues related to a reopening in the fall. Now, right now, as you know, there are a lot of conversations at different levels. Do we open? When do we open? How do we reopen? In person or online, fully online, or something in between, like a hybrid format. The committee I chaired A church has been formed. They are working on the logistics of reopening. I want them to present recommendations to me and ELT by the end of May, I hope. The conversation I had with Dan Grinstein, the chancellor, he thinks, and this thing may change, he thinks reopening may have to be a local decision because the 14 PASHI schools, they reside in different regions, differently affected by COVID-19. If you are close to New Jersey, New York, and Philadelphia, you are more affected than places like Lock Haven and Mansfield. In our case, we are now going yellow, I understand. So we are better off than some other regions, but not as good as the North Central region. We are working on that. Once we have some ideas, then we will be able to decide when we are going to have a commencement for the students. We also we did 2 surveys with the students. One is on commencement. They overwhelmingly voted for a commencement sometime in the fall. The other survey is our way to engage them. How are they doing? How is the university doing? We want them to know that they are our priority. They are in my thoughts all the time. And, I talk with Mike, with Angela about these things at any time, basically. I think we did pretty well. I do feel proud to tell you that Edinboro is the only university in PASHI that did such a survey. And during the board meeting, the chancellor mentioned the survey twice to the board members and all the presidents in attendance. I also shared a survey with all 14 presidents. Some of them wrote back to thank me for the information because otherwise they don't have any information regarding how students are doing at home, away from campus, and online. So we give them some good material to talk about. So I'm very proud of the communication team, the academic team, and everybody else. I don't have the time to enumerate everybody. The ELT has been working very hard. I mean, it's busier than before COVID-19. In my case, I work at any time. It has been a little draining on my energy, but we are all standing. That's the good news. That's the reopening piece. Now, another important piece that you have heard, but I want to be a little more emphatic about is the faculty retirement piece. We do have 24 faculty members declaring retirement. So far, we know 17 of them will be net. So that will give us some savings for the university. Those 17 positions, if not backfilled, will save the university just a little over $1 million for the next year, right? Now, just to share a little bit of some information from Group A of the presidents, where I belong currently. We were discussing what to do to pave the way for a brighter, stronger future of PASHI. My group made 16, I think, recommendations to the ELG, Executive Leadership Group as a whole, that they were discussing this morning that I was absent from. But that will be reported to the board in July. One of the recommendations I feel happy to share is we should probably give the faculty another incentive, a similar incentive for next year to encourage more faculty to retire. So our faculty complement will be reduced such that the student faculty ratio will improve. Right now, as I said earlier, Edinboro is either the 3rd or the 4th lowest student faculty ratio across the system. That largely explains why we are less efficient than some other schools. And of course, also the buildings that we discussed earlier this morning. Okay. Now, so that's really good news for retirement. If indeed the system opens up a second window, I think it will, a second window of opportunity for other faculty exploring retirements, they can the system will make an announcement, and the faculty will decide whether or not they want to retire by June 1, I think is the date. I'm expecting another 1 or 2. Mike may know a little better. No more than 3 or 4 that will say, I'm going to retire now. Now that the incentive will also be given to the second wave of retirees. Now, the board related to this enhancement of sick leave, the board did make a decision on Wednesday to give a similar deal to staff. So there will be some savings, but not as significant as the faculty savings. Now, I know on our campus, there are 17 eligible employees, staff employees that can retire with an incentive. That will help the university a little bit financially, but we need to see the exact numbers when all the eligible folks actually announce their retirements. That will be good news overall. Okay. But I know retirement of faculty or staff, all the numbers put together will not be enough to improve our student to faculty ratio to 20:1, or non-faculty to students ratio from now 13:1 to say 19:1. It will not be adequate. That much we know. One reason I have been emphasizing to many groups the importance of reducing the use of temporary faculty, the importance of limiting AWAs as much as we could, and the importance of outsourcing. That's another topic on my list. So on the outsourcing piece, Jim has been in conversations, Jim Sheehan has been in conversations with the unique source, and we did notify the affected staff back, I don't remember the exact month, either late January or early February, when Jim Sheehan, I, and Angela Burrows and Wayne Patterson, we went to meet with 90 staff members that at that time were perceived as would be affected. And it turned out that 49 house cleaning staff will be affected. They know. Out of those 49, I understand 3 or 4 of them are eligible for the enhanced sick leave payout for staff employees. So I hope they will take advantage of this new initiative. Some of them, my assumptions, would be hired by unique source. Some of them may not. But that issue is on the table, 100% transparent. And if indeed that happens in this summer, then our non-faculty to students ratio will improve, but not to the level that they wanted to yet. Too soon to tell. So that's outsourcing. I'd like to ask a question after I'm done. I have a couple more other items. System redesign. This is a bigger topic because the system level and because it has a lot of ramifications for Edinboro University. We just entered phase 2 of system redesign. Now, again, the focus at this point is on, as I already mentioned this, but this is on the shape and the size and the academic footprint of the university. Oh, I'm sorry, of the Panshi system. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Because the shape is, the conversations, how many campuses are we looking at? 14, 13, 12, these are all conversations. Now, then the shape, that is up to anyone's definition. Some schools will be smaller, others remain retain the same size moving forward. All of these conversations are dominated by a loss of revenue and by a decline in enrollments. So I know that you will receive some enrollment data from Bill Edmonds. The system collects data on a weekly basis, right? Now, one thought the chancellor has is to someday grow back to 120,000 across the system. Again, that is the number. That is the number for the entire system back in 2010, a decade ago, when everybody was larger than we are today, right? Is that a realizable number? We are having discussions. Now, what if, my group discussed this, what if, we go down to 80,000 as a system? That will be a considerable shrinking of the size, right? But those numbers are thrown around by my group. So I know we'll have more discussions at the ELG level in the next couple of months, right? So the academic footprint piece is important. I mentioned this to the trustees earlier, but for everybody here, especially the faculty, the staff in attendance, the system is looking at program integration, both on campus and across campuses, right? You can take my own discipline of English, but it's where I don't have tenure anymore. It's my discipline still. Here's the question: should every campus have an English program? Right. So just a hypothetical question. Then Edinboro has a large art program. Can we work with Slippery Rock, in terms of sharing faculty, sharing many other things? Okay. So system redesign phase 2 took on a new look, took on many new initiatives because of COVID-19, because of the new losses of finance. As you know, the board made a decision not to increase our tuition by 1.5% as a plan, as a budgeted, right? That decision has been made. It made news throughout the state. And so we are going to live with the 1% or less of our revenue for the next year. In the budget request by Apache to the Commonwealth is a 2% increase in appropriations. Right now, it's still in the budget books. I personally do not believe that will happen either. So in other words, I do not expect the 2% increase request will be met by the state. But I'm happy to be surprised. I will be happy to be wrong about it. Mm-hmm. So the system redesign is taking all this into consideration as we continue the conversation on the shape, size, and academic footprint of the Apache system. And as we on our own campus continue to do our financial planning, which I turn to now. So the financial sustainability plan, we had a first draft reviewed by many, shared publicly on campus and in the community, right? Not Western Pennsylvania. Many people saw the plan. I heard some feedback myself. What we are doing right now is to include more initiatives, both cost savings and revenue generation. On the second, on the latter, can we sell Prairie College? If so, how soon can we sell it? That's a big question. If we can gain $3 million by selling it, it will help towards the university's financial solvency. If not in the next 2 years, then it will continue to be, I hate to say this, continue to be a burden, right? Now, Mike has been leading conversation on the potential lease of Highland 7 and 8. If the deal comes through, then we'll have some revenue generated that will help with a perceived big gap, a cash gap in the next couple of years. Right. So the new plan, the new version of the plan will take those things into consideration. Now, other things in terms of cost savings will include, again, faculty retirement, staff retirement, some furloughs that already happened, and the reduction of temporary faculty use, AWAs, and many other small things we want to do, not backfilling position, for example. This plan, the second version, will be a lot more aggressive, a lot more drastic than you've seen before. It is my intent to share the new draft of the plan with all the trustees, with the faculty senate, with the APSCAF, AFSME, SCUPA, you name it. Everybody will have opportunity to look at the second version of the plan over the summer, the first half of the summer, because we will need to submit it to PASI by the 19th of June. Now, just a refresher, it's an important one. We were supposed to have a 5-year plan, during which time we will regain our financial solvency. We were supposed to have 5 years to improve our student and faculty ratio. Now the chancellor is calling for a shorter time window. They are saying 2 years. In 2 years, I don't know if that is realistic. I have been arguing with my own group to push for 3 to 4 years. So that is in the recommendation from my presidential group, 3.5 years to 4 years. And I'm more hopeful that we can regain our faculty student ratio to the 2010 level if we are given 3 to 4 years. But again, those things will be a decision made by the Board of Governors in the July meeting, I assume. Okay. So the plan is we are continuing work on the plan between Jim Sheehan and Bill Edmonds and Matt Sutton and many others. They are working on different scenarios on the projection of enrollment for the fall, assuming that we reopen fully in person. So that's still very uncertain. That we are relying upon the work of the ERT committee for guidance. How and when do we reopen? When we do, what is the actual loss of the students, therefore revenue? So for everybody to hear, the decision of the board to loan $6 million to Mansfield generated a lot of buzz across the system, and Edinboro University is not too far from that step. Okay, no president would be happy to see their university name put up on a slide deck that said, "Well, you have X number of dollars as a cash gap, and we need to fill, and we have a limited time." And I think the cabinet officers all know this. They all know the severity of the issue. I'm optimistic in the sense that we will grow, but we need time to grow. And we need to do a few things that are truly innovative and truly new measures. The other good news is for the staff to hear this. When I talk with the faculty leadership, the Senate leadership, the Senate as a group, they are all very understanding of what the system is trying to accomplish and what this particular campus wants to get done within the next few years before we can declare reasonably that we are financially solvent and ideally prosperous. That's my goal. As a president, I want to see this university continue to preserve its current identity and mission. We know what it is, but I don't know that everybody does out there. The things we are doing, many of them are working. Some of them need to be further explored and studied. And some of them, once we have a plan approved, then we will implement the plan with as little compromise as possible before we can see significant improvement in our financial picture. So I know I have a lot more details, but I know I won't be able to do that. We have only an hour. I'll stop there. for you to ask me questions and turn back to Barbara.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Hannon's up next for Academic Affairs, Student Affairs. Let me ask a legal question though, Kathy. Okay, so when we're in session normally and we have a couple people on the phone, we have to do a roll call vote on everything every action they ask us to pass. But do we need to do the same now that we're all on the video and audio?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yeah, Kathy, you're muted. Hang on. There.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Harold's shaking his head yes.
By bylaws, we are.
I think to avoid any issues, you should do it. I
Okay.
don't know that you do, but I think you should.
Okay, we will do that. Okay, so just as you know, as we're asked to take action, we will be doing roll call. Thank you. And Sam, you're going to record those. Thank you.
Can do. I can conduct those.
Okay, Mike.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I will try to do a short presentation, as I know that's the goal. Although that's always very difficult for me. All of you have reports in the portal for from Academic Affairs, Student Affairs, and Athletics. I'll just highlight again very briefly a few items. One last Friday, April 24th, we did hold a virtual academic honors convocation. This is something we had previously held in the Cole Auditorium with quite a bit of fanfare with our pipes and drum band and a lot of other nice action. Unfortunately, current circumstances didn't allow us to do that, but I think it was a good event. It was very highly watched, and we were able to honor more than 200 students at that event. Shema Musa, one of our graduating students, was the keynote speaker. We're also looking to do our new student orientation this summer in a virtual sense, those beginning in June. Our organizing team is working very closely with the Marketing and Communications Office on the development of videos to be incorporated into a platform which we all had previewed and I think is going to be very positive and impactful. We're also looking at having some synchronous live components to that in terms of a welcome for all participants and breakout sessions for students to still meet with the chairperson of the department in which they would be majoring, and also to be able to have conversation with some continuing students in those majors. So we think that that will be positive. Our Center for Career Development, Experiential Learning has also been reaching out continually to our graduating students, and they are providing information. I just previewed one today, providing information to all of our graduating seniors to tell them about what types of services career development can provide to them. They're going to continue to reach out to them every 2 weeks for the first 90 days after graduation, and remind them that their full services of the office are available to them completely for the first year. A recent virtual career event drew 130 of those students, which I think was a pretty good initial turnout. The materials also highlight a number of different ways that academic and student affairs are trying to reach out to support the community during this time. Just as a few examples, our nursing students through the SNOW organization, Student Nurses of Edinboro, had collected healthy snacks and energy replacement products and distributed those packages to frontline workers at our main clinical partners at Hammett St. Vincent and Meadville Medical Center. Students in our health and physical education program have completed the development of fitness videos, which are available through Facebook for community members to help lead exercise during this time of shutdown. Another health and physical education group has also developed a Facebook page to support community members in stress management. Our early childhood and reading students are currently and continuing to read and tell stories via an online platform, and also providing tutoring services in math, science, and reading to students in the region. That department is also going to be hosting From June 3rd to July 1st, a free virtual summer reading camp for students in grades K through 6. The students will be providing remedial reading and enrichment reading and language arts instruction for free for community members during that time. And as a last example, our art therapy program has transitioned their open art therapy studio into a virtual open studio, and that is open to any member of the public, especially those in Northwest Pennsylvania, to participate and to be in touch with live art therapists. In the area of athletics, there is a separate report detailing a lot of the activities in athletics during this time period. I just want to highlight 3 quick things. One, an outstanding student in women's track. Stephanie Parsons finished first place in the PSAC championships in the 1-mile run, the 800-meter run, the 3,000-meter run, and was part of the team winning the distance medley relay. She qualified for the NCAA championships for the 3rd year in a row in both the 1-mile and 3,000-meter run. Unfortunately, those championships were canceled due to the COVID-19 crisis, but congratulations to her. Another outstanding year. Additionally, in women's basketball, Michaela Barnes has multiple honors, PSAC Winter Top 10. She was a Division II Bulletin All-America team. She was the WCA Division II Coaches All-America team, which only contains 10 students nationwide. She was the All PSAC West Athlete of the Year, the D2 CCA All-Atlantic Region First Team, and broke multiple local records, most career points, most points in a season, most highest scoring average, and highest single game scoring record. So congratulations to Michaela, an outstanding athlete in our women's basketball team. And lastly, in terms of athletics, they are supporting local businesses through social media features. Every 2 to 3 days, they feature another local business to promote people to support them. And also every 2 to 3 days, they're using social media to feature Edinboro alumni who are in the healthcare field or conducting research in COVID-19 to honor them as well. Lastly, in the area of student affairs, during the extended spring break under Dr. Wilbert's leadership, we were able to convert a lot of our health and counseling services to teletherapy, teletalk, and telehealth in order to continue to support our students. We also had a massive move out of students during a fairly short period of time. All of that coordinated through student affairs. We had a number of volunteers from among the campus faculty and staff who assisted with that move out, especially a number of volunteers from the athletics department did provide assistance in that. We also were piloting a virtual resident assistant program, given that the students moved out. The resident assistants continued to have programs virtually, such as coffee and conversations, Netflix watch parties, game nights, Kahoot nights. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds fun. And the virtual RAs also continued their conversations with their residents through phone calls, texts, and Zoom. And lastly, our Office for Accessibility Services is virtually meeting one-on-one with their students to assist them with registration and provide peer advising, consultation, and writing services. And that concludes my report. The action item, are we?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So we have one action item, and this would be an action. I'll be seeking a motion on this. President Wong recommends that the Council of Trustees of Edinboro University approve the Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner Certificate Program to move forward to the Chancellor of the state system for final approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Second is Marcolini. Okay, we need to do roll call vote. Sam?
All right. Please, trustees, make sure your mics are unmuted so that I can hear your vote. Trustee Bellini,
Aye.
trustee Frampton,
Aye.
trustee Hyam,
Aye.
trustee Hersey,
Aye.
trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
trustee Lothar,
Yes.
trustee Pape,
Yes.
trustee Shields. Ooh, hang on, wait a minute. There you go, Harold. Trustee Shields.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. And Chair Chafee.
Yes,
Motion carries unanimously.
thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
up next, Jim Sheehan for Finance and Administration, please. Hello, Jim, is he on mute?
Yes, he is. Hang on a moment. Very good. Oop.
Oops,
There we go.
no, there we
About
go.
that.
Okay.
Start over. Good afternoon. On the portal, we posted the full report for the Finance and Administration Division. But I would like to highlight a few things that have happened, especially since the middle of March. It's been quite hectic in the division. The Student Accounts Office had worked really, really hard to get the refunds to the students, the refunds that were due to them for room refunds and dining refunds, et cetera. They got those out very quickly, and we appreciated all their work. They also have been working hard trying to figure out how the CARES money is going to be distributed to the students. And as soon as we do that, they will also be issuing those checks and direct deposits to those students' accounts. The Safety and Risk Management Division, formerly Environmental Health and Safety, Director is Jim Dale, and he's done a tremendous job staying on top of all of the issues that have impacted us due to the coronavirus. And he's also managed the emergency response team as well, and he's done a wonderful job. In the ITS division, when we first went to online courses, they worked really hard to make sure that students who didn't have computers to bring home were able to get loaner computers, and they, also were looking into hotspots, and they did a lot of work with faculty as well because of the switch to online computing. The budget and the IR office work together. They've been working on budget scenarios. The product of some of the product is what we saw this morning when we went over the budgets. That's going to be a process that's going to continue long into the summer. Procurement has done a great job. They've been canceling and closing outstanding contracts because of the basic canceling of most activities. Facilities have been run ragged. They have working with very little staff because most of the staff was sent home as non-essential. But making sure, going through buildings and make sure nothing is broken overnight or during the course of a week, and scheduling cleaning and trash pickups with a minimal staff, and keeping the grounds where they ought to be, where we expect them. It's just been an overall effort, and most of it has been done short-staffed because of so many people being, like I say, on leave without pay or on paid leave even. They've really worked hard. I can do nothing for them. They've done a great job. And they have my heartfelt thanks. So that's basically the report that I just wanted to highlight. Also, there are 2 action items that I'd like the board to consider.
Okay, go forward, please.
All right, the first one is the quarterly favorite. President Wong recommends approval on contracts and purchases as reviewed by the Council of Trustees for the period January, February, and March 2020.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Harold?
Seconded.
Okay. Janice seconded. All those in favor? Oh, no, we gotta do roll call.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Uh,
Okay, is everybody unmuted? I believe we are. Alrighty. Trustee Bellini,
Aye.
Trustee Frampton,
Aye.
Trustee Hyam,
Aye.
Trustee Hersey,
Aye.
Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Trustee Lothar,
Aye.
Trustee Pape,
Aye.
Trustee Shields,
Yes.
Chair Chafee.
Yes,
Motion carries unanimously.
okay, and your
Okay.
second
And my
action,
second action item, President Wong recommends approving resolution for the demolition of underutilized and obsolete buildings.
is there a motion?
So moved.
Pardon?
So moved.
Okay, now Dennis, second? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second. Dan Hyam. Roll call.
Trustee Bellini,
Nay.
Trustee Frampton,
Aye.
Trustee Hyam,
Aye.
Trustee Hersey,
No.
Trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
Trustee Lothar,
No.
Trustee Pape.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Trustee Pape, was that an aye?
Aye.
Okay. Trustee Shields,
Yes.
Chair Chafee,
I'm abstaining.
abstention, okay. 4, 5. Motion carries 5 ayes, 3 nays, 1 abstention.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Edmonds, I love doing this to you, but you're in the back end here with a few people and it's 1:16, so.
I'll be brief.
Okay.
The full enrollment management report was loaded into the council trustees portal. Couple of the admissions events. We plan to hold virtual information sessions and virtual transfer information sessions. They began Monday, April 6th, and will continue on throughout April, May, summer, June, July, and August. 2 admission staff members are hosting next steps presentations for admitted and deposited students. They will be held on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. A financial aid staff member will also present during those events as well. For undergraduate admissions and student engagement, the recruiters are working with students that have incomplete applications, missing requirement items to complete their application. They're contacting scholarship recipients to complete some documents for scholarship acceptance. Also, the recruiters are working with the honors students to make sure that they accept their seat in the honors college as well. We are sending text messages and emails and phone calls to our admitted students as well in the student engagement side. Under application review, real brief, we are reviewing all applicants for admission. Students, due to College Board and ACT canceling the test dates, we are working with students with a 3.0 cumulative high school GPA for admission to the institution since they don't have the opportunity to take those exams. We've expanded technology use using Visit Days, the Pro package for online enhancements, for onboarding new students, customized surveys, unlimited text messages back and forth with prospective students. So the communication and engagement is increased. The financial aid office created an out-of-pocket Excel workbook to assist new and current students with what the potential out-of-pocket expense could be for the 2020-2021 academic year, and the feedback we received, it's been a valuable tool, even as our new students completed the workbook and compared it against other financial aid packages from other schools. It's really helped our students figure out what the bottom line is and what the cost will be to each family. We did mail a reminder for fast following postcards to all currently enrolled students after spring break so that they meet the May 1st deadline. And the May 1st deadline now was moved back to May 15th due to COVID-19. And finally, veteran success. Dr. Chrisman, the coordinator, has been in steady contact with the Department of Veterans Affairs regarding benefits for students and their relationship with the courses shifting from in-person to online modality.
the emergency legislation was passed that ensured students will maintain their benefits. That concludes the enrollment management report.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Marilyn, for university advancement.
Okay.
Phone.
Good afternoon. In addition to our regular report, the Advancement and Alumni Division provided several documents for today's meeting in the portal, including our new COVID-19 communications and fundraising plan and a comprehensive campaign draft plan. Although we are in the relationship business, I am really proud of my staff who have adapted very quickly to continue our work remotely and as seamless as possible. Fundraising details are outlined in my report, and while we did feel confident we were on track to reach our fundraising goals before the health crisis, we know it will have an impact on fundraised dollars through this June 30th, but time will tell. The Student Hardship Fund was created in 2018 through the faculty and staff annual campaign to assist students when facing emergency financial situations. Under the current circumstances, there has been renewed interest from Edinboro alumni, faculty, and staff who want to help our students. And we have raised nearly $30,000 with students' requests, more than 30 requests totaling $18,000. That campaign will continue to be focused and strategic over the next few months. While over 20 of our alumni and fundraising events had to be postponed from the spring and summer, we have transitioned to conduct virtual gatherings with our alumni and donors, including the graduate toast featuring alumni and faculty and a video put together from our marketing division for the class of 2020. We are scheduling online alumni game nights and happy hours. Golden Apple Teacher of the Year broadcast will be on JET on May 13th. Alumni presidential meet and greets virtually with our alumni, presidential cocktail hours with small groups of alumni, and homecoming 2020 planning, whether that's plan A, we're still not back on campus with large events, or plan B, where we're back on campus. Now more than ever, our stewardship and donor relation efforts are essential, and we have done this through many channels, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our ThankView video platform, which is really great. And we've really changed that about around COVID-19, including messages to our students, first gen, students of color, the Hardship Fund, and all of our reunion groups for this homecoming, including 50th class reunion, athletic, and Greek reunions. Our new part-time or half-time advancement writer started in March, and he's hit the ground running. We have had 25 broadcast emails to alumni this year. Posts on the alumni page have reached over 17,000. And lastly, I just want to publicly thank Bruce Baumgartner, the 4-time Olympic medal winner, former wrestling coach, athletic director, and most recently Assistant Vice President for Advancement, for his over 35 years of service to Edinboro University. That's my report.
Thank you very much, Marilyn.
You're welcome.
Hey, Miss Angela Burrows for Marketing and Communications. And again, we're running at tight. I don't know if they're going to cut us off. That's why I'm saying that.
I understand. No problem.
Okay.
I'll be quick here.
We're okay. I mean,
Okay, we are okay. You didn't have the
Yeah.
timer on it. Okay, just checking. Okay.
So our primary focus has been keeping people informed, especially the last 7 weeks in light of COVID-19. It's not just about keeping them informed in a timely manner with information they need. It's also how we communicate it. What is the tone? As many of my colleagues have said, the Edinboro community has been very impressive in terms of being responsive to students. So I think that we want to make sure that we hold students close. I have one of them at home right now. My younger son is a student and he's at home learning online. It's this is a traumatic time for them. So holding them close, relieving their burdens as best we can, letting them know we're concerned about them and meeting their needs as best we can. And part of that need is obviously communications. Same is true for admitted students and their parents. We've had frequent communication with them from our end of the house, marketing and communications. Again, we understand they've had no prom, they've had no spring musicals, they've had no graduation parties, money's tight in their families. So we want them to understand that we know, we empathize, we get it, and we will do what we can to support them as best we can. So that's all part of the storytelling of the community, and faculty is a key piece of that. They really have been impressive in terms of how they've risen to the occasion, quickly adapting to online learning. Not every student is happy with it, and that's understandable. Some courses are harder to adapt than others, but they truly have risen to the occasion. And what we've done is taken a collection of videos, recordings of classroom demonstrations from the art department, and we're going to be sharing that video very soon. It basically demonstrates the lengths to which faculty have gone to accommodate students as best they can. The thing that struck me in getting these videos and getting messages from faculty is the humility that they express. In many cases, it is new technology for them, but they've risen to the occasion and done what they had to do. Just a quick note on the advertising side. We were able to purchase through our media buying partner, get the equivalent of $47,000 of free advertising, which is basically 6 weeks of free advertising, because no one is buying ads right now. So it's great. 40,000 of that is in the Pittsburgh market. The rest is spread between Cleveland, Buffalo, and Erie. We did up our advertising spend in Buffalo and Eastern Ohio this year. It paid off big time in terms of inquiries and applications from those areas, as well as attendance at our in-person events. About 20% of those who attended admissions events early in the year, when you could still do them on campus, were from out of state, New York and Ohio. So the payoff's been there. Our deposits, I think 21% of our deposits right now are from out-of-state students, and that's expected to increase. And if it does, we will be ahead of where we were with out-of-state students for fall of 2019. So that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Before we go into executive committee reports of the PACT Exec Committee, Alumni USI, I just sent to all of the trustees as well as to you and Mike Hannon that Gannon has announced that they plan to resume face-to-face classes in August. But I sent you that email because they do have a list of criteria in there and some of their action steps. So they did get out front on this of what they're doing, but I did want to let you know that that came through, and I sent you all the email. Came through while we were all talking here. Okay, Trustee Pate for PACT Executive Committee report.
Barbara, I do not have a report this meeting.
Okay, thank you. Trustee,
I think I gave that earlier today.
You really did give it earlier from the
that was a PAC meeting, phone conference with the president.
So Dan, do you have the alumni board report or USI report?
Yeah, Alumni Association. It's always interesting. They canceled their April 11th meeting, but the executive committee met, and they actually had someone who's willing to step up and run for president. That's Mike Eisert. And he's a good guy. I think he's been around. He's been with them about 5 years. I think they'll do a great job. Their next meeting is June 13th via Zoom. They're going to hold the elections then. I think he'll take over July 1. Just a quick note. They had, and it's a note to the COT. Last year, they signed the MOU with the council of trustees. It was updated last year. They signed it for 1 year. They want to know if they when we sign a new one, we want to sign it for 1 year or 3 years. Traditionally, it's always been a 3-year a 3-year agreement. I know it's a question, but we might put it on the agenda for our next meeting. You know, Amanda Sessom, she does a great job with that. She's kind of taken that whole association under her wing, and I think she's done a great job with all the other things she has to do, which Marilyn can tell you about. USI, you know, historically, of course, they're trying to deal with the like everyone else with the coronavirus. Historically, they've always mirrored the university as far as when it comes to unique or atypical situations such as they're dealing with right now. They pretty much held that to this policy. They have five part-time positions, and they're trying to deal with that. They can't really send them home and have them work from the home because they're doing such thing as you know, cashiers, shipping, receiving clerks, and that type of thing. They are next week bringing back 3 of them, a skeleton crew, to work through this summer. And they'll be dealing with the things I just talked about, mostly ordering books and shipping and receiving. They're not going to open to the general public until late summer. They have a safety plan for their employees that are going to be there in compliance with, which I never knew existed, the Pennsylvania Department of Health Safety Measures for Business. Okay, I should have known that. I've been in business enough time, long enough. But again, they don't anticipate opening till late summer, the doors. They're working on a paycheck protection program. They did not succeed on the first round, but the Small Business Administration recommended they do it the second round, so they're working on that. That's my report.
Thank you. And Trustee Frampton, Foundation Board report.
Okay, last night I got a report from Executive Director Chuck Scalise. And Sam, were you able to forward that to the COT?
Got it. That was forwarded to the COT.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I thought that was a very good report. It'll bring you up to snuff. So that's all I have to report.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Anything else for the good of the order? May we entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Harold first,
Second.
second. Dennis Frampton? We don't have to do a roll call for this, right?
No.
Non-debatable.
Yeah, nope, not on adjournment.
Okay, thank you. We're out.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, Barbara, everybody.
Good weekend.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Everyone.